Soil King here, coming at you again with another good friend of mine, Alan. Alan's bringing us Gro-Kashi. We stock it at the Soil King Garden Center now. This is it right here. This is the product. This is what we're pushing. This is the good stuff. So, Alan, you want to explain a little bit about Gro-Kashi?
Gro-Kashi is a probiotic soil amendment. We're registered as a specialty fertilizer in the industry. Our claim to fame is that we just make an incredible amount of mycelium, and that mycelium goes ahead and helps to break down the compost and deliver it at the proper ratios to the plant. So we don't really put our compost or our fertilizer directly in contact with the root system of the plant. We go ahead and do it natural style. We let the mycelium decide how fast to break down that manure and how much of it to deliver to the plant and when to deliver it to the plant. So we deliver it all, just like in biomimicry, from the mulch layer.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about the history on mycelium.
Wow. Well, it's basically what breaks down almost everything in nature in the circle of life and delivers it to the trees out in areas much farther away than the root system of the tree or the plant can reach. Everyone knows about mycorrhizal growth and things like that and the benefits. It's the same thing. The one we're working with here is streptomyces. A lot of the streptomycin antibiotics and things like that have been synthesized from it. And it just, it operates, the mycelial mat operates like an intelligent mycofiltration and myco-delivery device for your fertilizers and your water. Oh, and it boosts the immune system, of course, of the plant tremendously.
Application, how do we apply it? How do we use it?
Oh, it's pretty simple. You could make a tea out of it, like with the old pickle barrel method, about one bag in a tea sack, and you can reuse it as you use the tea daily. If you have it in a sack and you want to pull it out before you would water with it, it's a lactic acid bacteria tea, and squeeze the bag, and if you see a white viscous material still pouring out of the bag, that bag's ready to use. You can keep using it over and over again. Normally 10 days to 2 weeks time before it's played out. For top dressing, which is really, this is what it's meant for. Because I gave you over 2 weeks worth of trace minerals in the form of azomite and salts and things like that. So it's the mycelium and then the trace minerals delivered in the right proportions to the plant that, like when we use something like this at the biodynamic vineyards, it just puts the perfect nutrient density level of everything in the correct proportions to the plant. We're not just tricking the plant to chelating iron or whatever we want to, trick it into chelating. No, we let nature decide. We put everything in the mulch layer from the trace minerals and let it decide what and when to deliver it. So the product is, it stores better. Fruits and vegetables will last considerably longer, even not in a root cellar, because they preserve really well, because we're dealing with the same microbes that are used widely for fermentation.
Got it.
So if we were talking about something like herb or potpourri, it would help those things store for a very long time without the need of nitrogen factor or anything like that. We don't have pathogenic microbials that are going to take over and turn it brown like so many of the other fertilizers do.
Terpenes, how does it affect the terpenes and the flavors?
Oh, well, like in the wine industry, the difference between a good wine and a barrel of vinegar would be the nutrient density level of the grapes themselves. So cannabis and wine are so closely related in that aspect. You can't have complex flavors and tastes without a high nutrient density, a high mineral content in the herb or in the wine. So that's what we do. We come in and we put this down every 2 weeks on like a big plant. And the theory is this, okay? The intelligent microorganisms in the soil, they look at your soil like their savings account. They look at the mulch layer like their checking account. And just like you and I, if we got plenty of money flowing into our checking account, we can reinvest in things much more heavily than if we're dipping into our savings account. So by putting down our trace minerals and things, regularly in the prescribed amounts, and something like our I just love the compost that we have. The problem with compost that most people don't understand is it needs to be reapplied every so often.
Correct.
You don't just put it down one time at the beginning of the
Yeah.
season and walk away. If you do, you're probably going to end up with a fairly low nutrient density level. So you want to put these things on regularly, and the reason why you want to put these things on regularly is because in biomimicry we would have these herd animals coming by not just one time a season.
Sure.
We would have multi-species, but they would have all come by at least twice a season. You know, on the way in and on the way out. So we mimic nature, put everything down on the mulch layer. Now, if these microorganisms, especially the mycelium, see plenty coming in, they will reinvest much more heavily into the plant that even though is growing symbiotically with them.
So people are just going to top dress it, and they don't want to brew it up.
Yeah, just straight up miracle mulch it. Just
And then how often would you do that?
I would do it on a huge plant every 10 days,
Okay.
but on just about anything else, I would do it every 2 weeks.
Got it.
It's easy enough. It's 1/3 of a cup per square foot, so it's very simple to just draw out a square foot, sprinkle 1/3 of a cup,
Yeah,
and then
good
you'll
idea.
see visually
That's
what
a
your
great-
broadcast
that's a
rate
great
is.
idea.
Get right
That's
at
an
it.
easy idea.
Nice and easy.
So what do we got here? What are our MSRP? What are we selling these at?
Oh, okay. With Gro-Kashi, we have a minimum MSRP of $20.
Okay.
So we're at $20. A lot of our retailers, like Rhode Island, of course, we're based in California. They have to endure a higher shipping cost. So they're coming in between 24 and 27. That's kind of where
Sure.
most of our retailers are coming in at. It's around that price point.
So we're going to be rocking these at $20 a bag, family. And then what do we have behind you?
These are the bulk bags. I deal with a lot of larger farms, especially like Rastafari and Boba Shante.
Yeah.
They were my core clientele for a long time because the herb they grew with it, they said it was more inspirational. They called it meditation herb. I was
Yeah,
really
okay.
honored that someone would
Absolutely.
say that's the difference because they're not new.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we
Yeah,
sell
that's
these
a
bulk bags a lot like coffee. There's half a barrel in each of these bulk bags right here. The
Where-
MSRP is set by you guys on the bulk
Okay.
because most people that I deal with in the stores are just the bagged products.
Yeah.
There's not, you mix soil, so
Yeah.
of course you want to know about bulk immediately.
Yeah.
And it gets cheaper, but it all depends on how much you order.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Thank you for coming in, bringing this to us today. We're here for you, Soil King Garden Center. We got bulk stuff, so come on down, check us out. We got all kinds of good stuff. Alan, right
Yeah.
on, brother. Appreciate it.
Find us
Give me
at
a
the Probiotic Farmers Alliance.
Yep, there you go.
And I'd like to thank the Probiotic Farmers Alliance because they were the beta test group that developed and put that product together for you guys.
Great.